Welcome, everybody, to E2KGn30. This is episode number 42 on a kind of coolish, kind of warm May 10th, Thursday, 2018. So I am your host, Osiris Prime, and I got to pause something on my other window here because something started up. With me tonight, I have Mr. Swiss Guard. Swiss, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Excellent. So this is our news podcast that we try to get done in 30 minutes. We try to find, the most interesting articles out there that we found interesting. So we got a nice mishmash of some things, and I guess a little Nintendo heavy this week.
It kind of always seems to be Nintendo heavy when it's us.
Yeah, it's okay. That's fine. I don't know about you. I thought I was kind of light on. I was actually looking for articles since like last week because I knew I was going to be on this week, but I didn't really see anything.
I was struggling up until today, and then I grabbed a few. So
yeah. So let's start out here with you, Swiss. We have some Monster Hunter news.
Yep, I got this one from RPG Gamer, but later on in the day, it seemed to spread across the interwebs. So, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate coming to Switch in August. Capcom announced that it will be releasing Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch in North America and Europe. The game, which was released as Monster Hunter Double Cross in Japan, is an enhanced version of 3DS title Monster Hunter Generations and will be released on August 28th, 2018. Monster Hunter Generations was originally released in 2016 and introduced the ability to play as feline, cat-like species that traditionally plays a support role. Generations Ultimate also adds a new set of quests, G-Rank, a new Elder Dragon, a new endgame boss, new deviant forms of certain monsters, new alchemy and valor combat styles. Those who played Generations on 3DS will be able to transfer their save progress to Generations Ultimate on the Switch.
Nice. All right. So up next, we have little Pokemon news. Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go Fest is coming back. So there's going to be 3 of them, actually. So they're going to have it back in Chicago, which actually I attended last year. Well, sort of attended. We'll talk about that later, maybe. And then they're also going to have it in Dortmund, I think that's how you say it, Germany, on June 30th. And then in Yokosuka, Japan, later in the summer. So last year, I know there was some problems, well, at least here in Chicago, where they kind of just had it in Grand Park, which is kind of a big park there, just kind of a circular, squarish kind of park area. That it was just so many people packed into that area that it kind of killed the cell service basically, and they had a ton of problems. So bring it back. Supposedly they've learned, from their mistakes last year. So hopefully they have, and we'll see what they can do this year. And hopefully I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But you have some hacker trouble. Looks like
we got Law and Order news.
Yeah, you took my news this week.
So hacker known online as Dr. Mengele sentenced to jail for World of Warcraft DDoS attack. I got this from Eurogamer. A World of Warcraft player who hit Blizzard with a DDoS attack has been sentenced to 1 year in prison in the U.S. 38-year-old Romanian Calin Mateus, pronouncing his name right, flooded Blizzard's European servers with traffic between February and September 2010 in a bid to prevent his in-game rivals from logging in, the Department of Justice said. So next up, hopefully we can get to talking a little bit more about that. But next up, Steam news.
Yes, so Steam Link. Steam Link's been out, I think since late last year, maybe. I can't remember exactly. I don't think it says in the article, but and that was originally, it came out so you can basically stream your PC games to kind of other systems, or maybe even just like monitors and stuff, if I remember correctly. But now, or I should say on May 21st, they're going to have a Steam Link app, so I can't say that fast, for Android and for iOS devices. So you'll be able to stream your games from the PC on your your Steam account, any game, to your mobile device. I guess that's cool. I mean, I don't know, kind of why you would want to do that.
Save it for the discussion segment.
Yeah, but that's going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see what we can come up with that coming up here in a minute. But
All right.
now,
So
another Nintendo news
Nintendo.
coming up.
Yeah, this is an example of one of the slower when I was, as you alluded to, struggling to find an article. But I got this from GameSpot. Nintendo Switch getting adjustable charging stand for longer tabletop sessions. Nintendo has announced a new Nintendo Switch peripheral. An adjustable charging stand for the hybrid console is coming in July for $20. The company announced today. Why would you want one? Nintendo says it will help you, quote, enjoy longer play sessions in tabletop mode.
Nice.
And then Prime has the article that I wanted, the big Nintendo news.
Sorry, you're too slow. I got to it first. Yeah, so we've got some more details on Nintendo Switch online service, and I'll go through. You know what? Since I guess this is our first topic, I'm going to just kind of start to run through it here. So we know the release window-ish is launching in September of this year, 2018. The pricing had always been out there. You get 1 month for $3.99, 3 months for $7.99, and a whole year for $19.99, $20. Pretty good deal. And then part of this, and they kind of alluded to this last year, early in the year when they announced this, that you're going to get classic games, and they're going to be, and they actually named some now. So these are going to be classic. I believe these are just NES games for now, and these are, I'm gonna run through the list here: soccer, tennis, Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, Balloon Fight, Ice Climber, Dr. Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Super Mario Brothers 3. Which it's kind of weird that they skipped 2, but all right.
Two's always the redheaded stepchild.
That's right. It's always, it was not a Mario game, but then it became one. So I guess they just don't want to talk about it. They're sweeping it under the rug. So, I mean, you're not going to just get these games, as they were back then. They're actually adding multiplayer to all of these games, and you can play locally or online. So that's a pretty good deal, I suppose. I mean, I guess, although I don't know about Legend of Zelda, I don't know how they do that, but they said they were going to do it I thought they said for all games, but we'll see. Maybe they have some kind of like, what were those DS and 3DS, like Four Swords or something like that, where
there was a Four Swords Adventures game, and I think that was on GameCube, and then they had Triforce Heroes on the 3DS.
Okay, so that was like you can be like a bunch of Zeldas and
a bunch of Links. Come on, man.
I'm sorry, yeah, Links. I'm sorry. Hey, it's late. Yeah, so you have a bunch of Links. Well, I'm assuming. I don't know. Like I said, they haven't really given any more detail. But supposedly there's going to be 20 games in all when they launch the service, and that's just a small sample. Maybe during E3 they'll give us more information. And then also, which is a big one, the next one, cloud saves. Finally, actually, hopefully they'll put that out a little sooner, but probably not. They'll probably wait till the whole service is live. But so you'll be able to back up your save data to the cloud. So if something happens, you can pull it back down later on. Excuse me. And I believe that was it. And then obviously once this starts up, you won't be able to play any online games for free anymore. You'll have to pay the service, to do any online gaming. And it looks like they're still going to be using the app on the phone to do voice chat and stuff like that. So yeah, I was hoping maybe they would go with a normal system chat and not have to go through the phone and do all that clunky business. But I guess they're keeping with that.
Well, I'm trying to think, if you have your Switch in docked mode, I don't think the Joy-Cons don't have any headphone jacks, do they? And the Joy-Con grip doesn't. So you can't really connect to the thing unless it's like
that's true,
Bluetooth or something, which I don't know if it even. One, it would eliminate a lot of people's peripherals, but two, I'm not even sure if it has Bluetooth.
Yeah, I don't know how the Joy-Cons connect exactly.
Docked. The one thing that this article that you linked to from IGN, I don't see it in here, is the payment plans. They did announce a family plan, which excited me.
Oh yeah,
So you can get 1 month for $4, 3 months for 8, 12 months for 20. So that puts it below, PlayStation and Xbox. But obviously, you're getting kind of, I think, watered down. Like you're just getting the basic stuff. But they have another level for $35. You can get the family plan. So one person pays for the service, and then they can kind of add up to 7 additional, I guess, accounts for your family members,
yeah,
um, and everybody shares it on under one price. Which, um, given the number of people in my family that play Splatoon 2, is very appealing to me. So
yeah. Actually, yeah, I forgot about that. I thought there was something else, but I don't know why they didn't have it in this. This is kind of just their wiki for the online service, so I don't know why they
yeah,
failed to mention that. So what do you think of the games, like the retro games? I guess, well, I guess that was another thing that they announced, I think yesterday or a couple days
yeah. I
ago.
don't think that was the first I had heard of it when this news broke. Um,
Yeah, there is
you know,
no.
if
They
they
definitely.
hadn't had Zelda and Mario 3, I would have kind of felt a little disappointed, I think. But that's a nice mix. It's cool that they got Dr. Mario. That's like a, nice puzzle game.
Yeah,
But we'll
yeah,
see. I go ahead.
I was just saying, and they did announce that there is for sure going to be no, like, well, at least like how it was on the Wii and the Wii U, no virtual console coming. So I don't know if this is going to totally replace it or if they're just going to call it maybe something else. So they said there's no virtual console, but they never said anything about throwing just games out there for you to download or whatnot. So I don't know if this is totally going to replace that or not.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah, he said they in this article who's the author? Well, on IGN, they said when we asked in June if Super Nintendo or N64 games might also be included in the subscription, a spokesperson for Nintendo said, quote, Super NES games continue to be under consideration, but we have nothing further to announce at this time. So they haven't officially ruled it out yet.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, is this shaping up to be something that you're happy with, or are you kind of starting to grind your teeth a little bit and thinking they're, especially with the using the phone, um, they're just not there with Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it too bad just because of the price point. Like even for a year, it's $20. Like even if you do the family plan, like you said, it's 35. I mean, that's not too bad. That's half of. It's still half of Sony and Microsoft's plans. So it's all right. I mean, it's fine for what it is, I guess. It, the voice chat still bugs me. I mean, I don't know why they had to do that, but I mean, I guess they're just they're thinking of the children, as they say in The Simpsons. So they don't want any shenanigans going on, and it's cumbersome. I'm assuming it works. Some people have used it. I suppose it's working, but I still think now it only works for Splatoon as far as I know. I think I don't know if it works for any other games, the voice chat part, but hopefully obviously when this comes live, hopefully it just opens up for all games, I guess.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
I'm still thinking. It seems like they're probably going to be releasing this along with Smash. So,
Yeah.
do we move on to the next story?
Yep.
All right. So, next one we chose to discuss was the Monster Hunter. More Switch news. Monster Hunter Generations. Um, what I thought was interesting about this and why I wanted to put it in the lineup was basically this coming off the heels of Capcom raking in the dough with Monster Hunter World. That, of course, is, I think, exclusive to, not exclusive, but it's PS4 and Xbox. So it's console only, I think, and it's not on the Switch. So, um, but with the success of the Switch, I can see them wanting to really get something out there on it. Hence, Hunter Generations Ultimate. Um, so they get a Monster Hunter title on the Switch, even if it's a remaster or a remake or whatever. But the other thing that interested me about this was it's a 3DS title. Now, I don't know if it's just because I may be looking too much into it, because Monster Hunter is in the past it's basically been a handheld series, yes. Um,
Yeah, for the most part, yep. Until the
so
last few years, yeah.
right, so that might play into it, but the other part of me was like, they're taking a 3DS franchise and moving it up to the Switch. Does that perhaps hint at anything with regards to the 3DS and the Switch platforms moving forward? And it was enough to tickle my brain for an E2KGn30 episode, I think.
No, you make a good point because yeah, it was. I mean, it was on 3DS. It was on. Well, actually, the first one I ever played was actually on the PSP, the original one, the old what was it, the 3000 model or the 1000, whatever it was. Uh, and I only played it for a little bit. I was just like, it's too much to do. I don't have time for this, so I kind of gave up on it. But I mean, these later iteration ones have been supposedly been pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I know we know that they're making their next Pokemon game too is going to be just on the Switch. So I mean, it could be they're finally starting shuttering off these IPs off of the 3DS off their portable and bring them over to Switch. So it's a good thing, I guess. Um, you will be actually if you have it on the 3DS on the Generations version on the 3DS, you can transfer that save to the new one or to the Switch version when it comes out too. So
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's another big thing.
But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how at the 3DS to Switch level, I'm kind of interested to see how the next E3 is going to be a big deal because, what are we going to see for the 3DS coming out? Last year, we had the Switch. It was already starting to be pretty clear that the Switch was, I mean, it was still early in the life cycle, but, you know, you could forecast it. Things were positive. And then they still announced the new Metroid for the 3DS. So, um, yeah, I'm kind of curious about that, but on the practical level of the game, it's like Capcom's getting their big series now on the Switch, which, just at a practical selling like hotcakes level, that's probably good. The Switch has been doing pretty well, getting those ports from prior systems like the Wii U up. This one just happens to be from the 3DS. So,
Yeah, I think maybe some people would have liked Monster Hunter World, but obviously that's that was made specifically for.
Yeah, I have a feeling that was a technological thing rather than a.
Yeah.
I'm sure that if they really could have had it on there, they would have probably figured out something by now.
Yeah.
Steam Link. You're not a huge. I mean, I know you're on Steam because I have you on my friends list, I think.
Yeah, I don't do a lot. Yeah, I don't do a lot of Steam or PC gaming right now, but yeah, I just thought this was an interesting article just because. Just why? Why would you want to do this? Why would you want to play your Steam games on a phone? I mean, I guess you could probably do it on a tablet too. That makes a little bit more sense, I suppose. But I mean, why wouldn't you just play it on your PC at that point or on a laptop or something? So
I had the same reaction. Anytime there's a game that's on it's like a console game that they port to mobile, I don't understand it. For the life of me, I don't know how they're making $50 million on Fortnite mobile right now.
Yeah.
Who is playing this? And how are they doing it effectively?
The kids. The younger generation.
I don't know.
Is this something you do? You would try? You probably at least try it, right?
On mobile?
Yeah, why not?
Nah.
You can use. I don't know if it mentions here, but you can use whatever like the mobile controllers and stuff like that. So
those Steam controllers.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law has one. He was
Wi-Fi
excited to show it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that weird. yeah, I don't know. I'm not a. So I mean, I guess if I'm using my phone as like a monitor, okay, you know, I get it. Somebody has like a Samsung Galaxy Note. It's not that much smaller than a Switch, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that could kind of work. I don't understand like wanting to control it specifically with the mobile device, but
Yeah. Once
anyway,
again, if you're gonna sit there with a controller in your hand at the, looking at the mobile device, I mean, well, you might as well just do it on a PC. So I don't know.
yeah,
It's just, hey, I guess it's an option, but so that's fine. More options, I guess that's a good thing.
we're too jaded in our views to understand if I'm on a subway and I get my phone out and all I got to do is slip my Steam controller in my backpack, I can game.
That's
Although
right.
then you're gonna have some like crazy. It's got to be on Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's got to be on 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi anyway.
Yeah.
So no, you can't do it on the subway. Sorry.
No. Yep.
Um, okay, I get back. I tried to have the benefit of the doubt, and that's it.
It kind of crumbled.
Yeah,
All right. So now next one is the hacker, Mister
yeah,
Mister Mengele. His hacker name is Mengele, Doctor
yeah.
Mengele.
So he sounds like a class act just by that.
Yep.
But uh, so yeah, so he was ordered to pay almost $30,000 to Blizzard to cover the cost of combating the DDoS attack. So, what what interested me about this article? I'm in the IT field. You're in the IT field too, Prime.
Yes.
Um, so when stuff happens, they're never really victimless crimes because there are poor IT guys like you and I that are on the back end that have to expend hours, and effort to deal with this junk. And World of Warcraft or Blizzard, excuse me, wanted their money back for all the time they had to do messing with this. So there's that aspect to it. The fact that they have pursued the case, they literally had to. Um, where is that in the article? Yeah, he's been in custody since November 20th. He was extradited from Romania, so they tracked him down in Romania and had him extradited to the U.S. Uh, to do this. They charged him for the money, and he's going to be in jail for a year. So, they spent some time and effort to make an example of him that it's not going to be tolerated. That was interesting. The other thing that humored me about the article was his reasoning, which was to prevent his in-game rivals from logging in. Says, here's the quote from the Department of Justice. Mateus, using his in-game avatar, often participated in collaborative events such as, quote, raids, where I like the quote, by the way, around raids, where players joined forces to meet game objectives and were rewarded with virtual proceeds or in-game advantages. Which is just such a sterile way of describing MMORPGs. But
Virtual
he
proceeds. I never
became
heard it called that before.
he became involved in disputes with other players for a variety of reasons, including the division of loot and membership in raid teams. And it's just such a petty thing. But I don't know. Genius Award winner. Here we go.
Not a young guy.
Romanian.
Not a young guy either. I thought he was an older
No,
guy.
he would have been
38.
30.
Yeah.
He's 38 now. He would have been 30 when he did it. So I don't know.
He took it seriously, I guess.
He thought he was inoculated by the Atlantic, but apparently not.
Yep.
Not in
Nope.
the 21st century.
Romania was like, nope. Go ahead, take him.
Bon voyage.
Yeah. It's all yours.
All right, Pokemon Go Fest.
Yes.
You attempted to attend this last year.
Yes.
You mentioned.
So, yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get tickets just because they sold out in like whatever minutes. I'm pretty sure because by the time I got on there, even my brother tried to get on, right away, and they were like gone like right away. Um, But yeah, like I mentioned before, it was the park itself is not small or anything. It's fairly large, but like I said, it was just so many people packed into that area. Probably because in that area and then around it, because like I said, you can just walk around the outside of the fenced off area to just do some just regular Pokemon battles. It just killed the cell networks there. So I was reading the article here. This is from IGN, and they're talking to the CEO. Which, if my browser here would work with me, I can get his name. I could try to find it. I can't find it right now. But yeah, they were talking to the CEO.
John Hank.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce.
Yeah. He's a CEO of Niantic. That's how you even say that. They're just talking to him, and he's saying, so right after the Chicago one last year, they had within like a few weeks, I think actually maybe even a month, they were having another big one in Japan, and Chicago, I believe, had. Let's see, hold on a second. I think it was like 10, 20,000 maybe.
It says while Chicago's Go Fest had 30,000 attendees, Yokohama's event attracted 2 million players over 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, so they had, obviously, it's a lot larger amount of people. So they learned basically that as long as they don't keep it in one like central location, they kind of had stuff all around the area or the park. I'm assuming it was some kind of park over the head in Japan. As long as they kept people moving, it kind of relieved the cell service. So that's what they're going to do. So this year they're going to have in Chicago, they're going to have it in Lincoln Park, which is kind of more. It's more narrow. Excuse me. But it's kind of long, so they're going to have, probably just you can just walk around the park and they'll have like little stops and gym battles. I'm assuming they had special gym battles last year. So they're going to spread it out and have you like kind of basically do what you should have been doing, what the game wants you to do is walk around, in a more spread out area instead of just being concentrated. So that, they're going to do that so they can, try to relieve the cell service. And, obviously this time around, they're talking with the carriers a little bit more. So, letting them know, hey, you're going to have a lot of traffic again this year, and it's going to be.
This is the irony about our story lineup. The previous story was about a DDoS attack that was intentional. And this story is a DDoS attack that was unintentional.
Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, it happened, and like I said, they did refund everybody. Whoever paid for a ticket, they refunded everybody's money, which is good. I guess that's good. But I mean, people just wanted to play the game and get these special. They had some Pokemon there that so there are some Pokemon that you can only find in certain regions of the world. So they actually had you had the ability to get those at that time, but it was so clogged up sometimes you couldn't get on, or you get kicked off constantly. I actually didn't have a lot of problems as far as connecting. Every once in a while I might get kicked off, but I was pretty stable. And I think I had a Galaxy S7, I think, at that time. I have a Pixel 2 now, so it was fairly decent phone. And I didn't have any problems. So, but I don't, my brother was right next to me, and not my cousin, my nephew. I think they had iPhone 6s, maybe 7s. They were having all kinds of problems. So, it was, I guess it just depended on the phone. You just never know. But hopefully, this year they'll take care of things and make everything right. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see if I can get tickets. I think tickets go on sale tomorrow, so maybe I'll try to get tickets this time right away. So it, like it says in the article, it's a 1.8 mile walking course in Lincoln Park. So I should spread it out a lot better.
So not too bad. Pleasant walk.
Yes, and there's a zoo too, a free zoo within that zone. So
although it's probably not going to be pleasant because there's going to be too many people there, but
sure.
That's just my cantankerous dad thoughts.
And the end of June, mid-June, I think at the end of June. So it's probably gonna be hot too. So we'll see.
All right, I think we're at 30 minutes.
Yes. So last one was switch stand. You got a switch stand, a new switch stand. So
you can dock it and charge it at the same time.
Yes, it's not locked in there. So and play. That was the other thing.
Yeah. It's not. It's like a mini dock that's an angle, so you put it in and play it while it charges, rather than holding it and playing it while it charges, which you could still do.
Yeah, and this is official Nintendo dock. So because
Yeah.
those third parties, gotta watch out for them. Don't want to be charging with non Nintendo related stuff right now. At least for now. We'll see what happens in the future. But
Right.
yep. So that's it. We got rid of all of them there this week. That's pretty good.
It also means there probably wasn't much to talk about, and
Yeah, we kind of.
but we'll look at the glass half full.
That's right. Got to think positive. All right. So any plugs before we get going out of here?
Um, we missed last week or last Tuesday to a scheduling. Um, we had some last minute scheduling problems, so we rescheduled the discussion show for Saturday night at 9:30, and I believe it'll be you, me, and our good friend Agasicles.
Yes. Yep. 9:30 Eastern. So stay tuned for that. Or you can obviously catch it on our YouTube channel, the E2KGn Network. And then yeah, come back here so Saturday, and then we'll have another core show that following Tuesday, where we'll go over a playlist, and I think it is Susan's going to report out, and our newest member, Wordy Nerdy, which unfortunately he didn't get to make it this past week, and he won't be able to be on Saturday. He will do his Let's Play or what Wordy plays, so we'll get him going on our little playing or choosing a game for him to play. So I believe that is it for episode number 42. Thanks for watching, everybody. Swiss, have a good night. Have a good weekend. I'll see you Saturday. And everybody, come back here. And as always, this has been enough to keep going in 30. See you next time.